me welcome our friends and colleagues from Morocco for this very important first session of the U.S.-Morocco Strategic Dialogue.
I stay up, never sleep, cause we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road, 70. I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan. Why? Cause there they go, trying to sense the process in my land. Media all the prophets in my land. God bless all the prophets in my land. Take off all my fight for my land. My land. Bury the hate, shine with the love. I am a God. Honor my fam, longer my days. Guy in the shop. I throw the Hail Mary, get blooded like Carrie. Die in my prime, like busting the grape and pressing rewind. Get better with time, I fall home to the fortress. Memorize all the records of the Moors, library in my conscience. Library of the Congress, lives vary by the context. 1492, talk about the Spanish when it came to conquest. In real life, playing contraband, trying to fill with the contraband. Hard life for an honest man, all night for my daughter. On a hot block with no monster pen. My land, that's express trust in the plan. Drew Ali, prophet the man. Who I be, Conway Stevens. Yes indeed, this be my land. I stay up, never sleep, case we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road, 70. I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan. Why? Cause there they go, trying to sense the process in my land. Media all the prophets in my land. God bless all the prophets in my land. Take off all my fight for my land. My land.
It's not a city corpse. 10,000 years haven't been a corpse. Foreigners came to my land pointing guns and swinging Jesus cross. Empire, not a cityscape. 5 atomic, not shitty lakes. Continent, not Turtle Island. Noblemen, not a wild man. Home is North America, not a stranger, but the landlord. Free white people, not Negro, black, Ethiopia, colored. Navigating with no water. Blacks are still getting slaughtered. Nationality, the order. Foreigners create war borders. Calling themselves governors since they can't call themselves Bay. To keep you in ignorance, they replace the E with the A. Keep you defended, always a defendant. Kill your brother over sneakers, but when the highwaymen kill you, you won't defend it.
I stay up, never sleep, case we gotta go. That way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road, 70. I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan. Why? Cause there they go, trying to sense the process in my land. Media all the prophets in my land. God bless all the prophets in my land. Take off all my fight for my land. My land. Whoa, I stay up.
Yes, Mom.
Case we gotta go that way. Nation D, Mufti's on the road.
It is a violation
I stay up, sleep ain't in my plan.
of dignity.
Trying to sense the process in my land.
Long as there is blood,
God bless all the prophets in my land.
name of God, true and lasting peace.
My land.
You may not have heard of the Moorish Nationals, but police have members claim to follow Moorish science. It comes from a black religious group that's been around for nearly a century.
Moors trace their beliefs to noble Drew Ali.
Got emerald tablets on me. I'm taking these shackles off me. Now watch me come out and warm up. I'm packing mojitos on us. I rock, I'll be gone. I rock on my home. Got bars like Barcelona. My cars, they on it. My style's so wild, they on it. Yeah, they on it. My style's so wild like Kato. Green Hornet, we on it. Yeah, we on it. Bottom block, low key, lay low, we on it. They say the Moors back in here, but they the ones that flyers. The weak man can't compete. I see the world like Elijah. Pool Bay, N-O-Y, love truth, and no lie. Farrakhan should rewind that and tell them niggas put the sign back. Got movies knocking down the doors, breaking locks free the Moors. And Drew Ali be the prophet, they hit the man on the floors. Active Moors be the loudest, dirty Moors be the foulest. and everybody else surrounded by the corporations trying to get the power. You cannot put this into words. Shemitahs over swords. The empire never falls over. We can brawl over what you thought. I'm LC with the merry men, shaking Mexican like I'm tenement. Go to war like a relevant. That's a martial law. You don't want it, man. Got emerald tablets on me. I'm taking these shackles off me. Now watch me come out then warm up. I'm packing more heat this on us. I rock, I'll be gone. I rock on my home. Got bars like Barcelona. My cars say all they on it. My style so wild, they on it. Yeah, they on it, they on it. My style so wild like Kato. We on it, we on it. Yeah, yeah. We on it, we on it. Bottom, block, low key, lay low, we on it.
Not a religious black group. Moorish is not a cult. Moorish might gun but slap you for Drew Ali insults. Pedophile claims against him, but Elijah gets a pass. Disrespectful MS did the same to Malik El Shabazz, calling them black and such. That's denationalization. Negro black, call it African, not a real but fake nation. Drew is a subconscious mind state. Hebrew Israelite verb, cabaning lessons dismissed. No wonder y'all concerned. Every time conscious guys speak, it's absurd posers. I get on my Taj, disrespect and walk off cause convo's over. Arab land, the prophet, dirty Moors support his book. Levi plagiarize a Akashic, but they call Drew Ali crook.
Got emerald tablets on me. I'm taking these shackles off me. Now watch me come out then warm up. I'm packing more heat this on us. I rock, I'll be gone. I rock on my home. Got bars like Barcelona. My cars say all they on it. My style so wild, they on it. Yeah, they on it, they on it. My style so wild like Kato. We on it, we on it. Yeah, yeah. We on it, we on it. Bottom, block, low key, lay low, we on it.
He is a member of the Moorish nation. Moors trace their beliefs to noble Drew Ali, who founded the Moorish Science Temple in Chicago with tens of thousands of followers. Islam. All black Americans are Moorish Americans, descendants of an ancient Moroccan global empire, an idea some followers have taken one step further.
Peace, Moors. So first question, is there a Clock of Destiny organization? Yes, there is a Clock of Destiny organization. But that Clock of Destiny organization is a bunch of traitors and sellouts. Because Charles Mosley Bay left his Zodiac Constitution, Clock of Destiny nationality card, Clock of Destiny 1, 2, Circle of Life, Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs, and everything else that he brought, circles of mothers and sons, everything that he brought. And what did they do? They took it and put it in their little club. And I can only speak from experience. And when I spoke to Nakeem Bey personally, because, you know, like everybody else who found out about CM it wasn't through them. It was through rvbaypublications.com. It was through active Moors of the Moorish Science Temple of America who recognized and honored CM for the free Moorish Master Mason that he was, and that he came to assist Noble Drew Ali in saving the nations since the nations sold out. And then people infiltrated his thing and sold that out. And how I know that they're a sellout is because when we tried to become members of Clock of Destiny, Nakeem Bey is talking about going through some whatever, where we gotta wear red ties for a month, and after we wear the red tie, then we get some different colored tie and all this BS. Go ask them. That's a club. That's not what CM brought. So, like we told the UK traders earlier today, F you, all you people who are playing around with CM Clock of Destiny and not giving it to the people, F them, right? Just like we told all the UK traders on their own platform, their own black guy radio station that hasn't done anything for anybody, but be out here spreading confusion. And as soon as the Moors get on there, now they're talking about they want to cancel stuff, not bring people back on here as if anybody you had on there was credible ever before Moors got on there. Galaxy Afui Radio, Galaxy Afui people. sold out. So we take CM-based stuff, we study it, and we apply it to honor him. Since the people who were around his time and after him chose to sell out Clock of Destiny and sell out Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs, and have you right now don't even know what the hell to do with your birthright. You know you're a Moor, or you can't exercise anything because of these traitors who you've been backing for the past 100 years. Because anybody who doesn't tell you about Noble Drew Ali is a traitor. Even Isaiah Thomas told you about Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish American history in the United States. Isaiah Thomas. For him to mention Noble Drew Ali on national TV, primetime TV, on a U.S. corporation holiday, mention Noble Drew Ali, he gets more honors than any of these faker Moorish Science Temple people out here who talking about they got some authority over Moors. When was the last time they were on TV and mentioned Noble Drew Ali's name? And I know for a fact that he knows if he's going that far. And again, going back to the UK traders earlier today, where the UK trader came on and said that they know about Drew Ali. So if they know about Drew Ali, why are they debating us about are we Moors or not? They didn't have nothing to say about Noble Drew Ali. They're going to tell you all this Haile Selassie Ethiopia BS, but they're not going to tell you that the triple crown that Haile Selassie wore is a golden fez. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that Empress Menen is Islamic. Empress Menen is from the line of Prophet Muhammad. That's Islamic. So how are these Rastas and whoever who say Haile Selassie is their God and all this, how come they're not Moors? How come they're not Moors if their God married somebody Islamic? Please. That's why when Dr. Ben, the master teacher with the Moorish doctorate, the doctorate in Moorish history, when he came here to Toronto to lecture, and I was standing right there with all the Rastafarians, because I was Rastafarian too, and he told all these Rastafarians to their face that Haile Selassie is not a god of anybody. He's dead as a dog. It's really dog backwards. And the Rastafarians wanted to murder Dr. Ben. They wanted to kill him because he said Haile Selassie is dead as a dog. They got mad. And then me, I thought it was rather funny or whatever, because, you know, when we came up, we came in from Rastafari as a metaphysical thing. And, you know, man over there is nobody's God, and I'm not God of myself. How is that guy over there God, but I'm not God? I'm under him, but me and him, if I cut his head off right now, it's rolling. Well, you wouldn't get the opportunity to do that because he put his foot on a bomb and then that stopped the bomb from going off, and then he was with lions and whatever. What do you mean? Our people have been animal tamers. That's a big deal. He has lions in his courtyard. Oh my gosh. He's Jesus because he has lions in the yard. Stop this. He's a brother just like me. Just like Taj is a brother just like me. And Raz is a Moor just like me. And they ain't nobody. Who are you is the question. You know who you are? You're worried about how these people look. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. They already got their birthright. Haile Selassie got his birthright. He got golden fez. Where's your fez at? Rastafarian, whoever. If Haile Selassie has a golden fez, where's your fez at? Oh, you don't got one? Oh, that's not a fez? Oh, that's a gold crown of the Ethiopian monarch, of the black whatever. All right, cool, yeah, sure. Sure, it's that, no problem. No problem. It's that to you. But it's not that BS to us. We're Moors. And we know that it's a campaign going on right now to try to stop the people from being Moors, and the campaign's been on. And the campaigns by every and anybody who continues to call you Negro, Black, Colored, African, West Indian, all the different groups that we call ourselves, tie ourselves to, all the different marches and all the different parades that we say is our culture. All the fictions. They want you to stay in the fiction realm. They will die happy, people, if you just don't consider the Moorish paradigm. I'm telling you, they're going to find every single way. They're going to find every single way to try to get your attention off of it. They're going to try every way. Right? They're going to try every way possible. Because you're playing dumb. I seen more listed on CDC website. Can we use this as a reference for our status correction? It's already known that we're Moors. We just never proclaimed it. And if the CDC is going to come out and say that we're designating this number 667 to Moors, and then you go above 667 and below 667, and there's all other people on there that has some type of designation as a number. And I'm pretty sure black guys and all those guys are up there too. Which again comes down to the whole thing of it's either going to be forced or voluntary. They rather it be voluntary. Because what they know is that the people don't study. The people are going to go with anything that they say. And here they come. Here they come. Letting you know this number means more. And then that CDC, who is not Moorish anything. I don't know what CDC, I don't know. Kentucky Fried Chicken said something about the Moors. Like, why do I care? I don't eat chicken. I don't shop there. So why do I care if they have a Moorish sandwich for the Moors, come in and get a free Moor burger. Come get a free Moor burger. Just come over here and get a free Moor burger. And that means something. Woman reveals, and all day, no drilling. All day, no drilling. Did the whole thing this morning, no drilling. Just like that, drilling. You can't make this stuff up. Right? This is what it is for you. And we're gonna let it happen so you can see this is what you get. Because you didn't want to wake up back then when we had peace and quiet. And when we could go to the library and stay there all day and whatever. This is what your learning is now. You want to know about Moors? This is what you have to go through. You want to learn some black BS? Their camera's going to be right. Their light's going to be right. The words are going to come out right. Oh, everybody's going to be polite with them. Hand gestures that are soft and... This is how you have to learn about Moorish anything. This is how we see if you're real. Could you survive through this as class? Let's see if you could survive. So woman reveals the moment that the SWAT team was called to clear members of sovereign citizen group from her New Jersey house after they broke in. Drilling in the truth. No, I'm second to top floor. They're drilling in that truth. Oh, just gonna say. New Jersey resident Shanetta Little says a small group of men broke into her Newark home Friday, June 18th, claiming the property as their ancestral home. Now that's a lie. That's a lie. There's no way that building right there was there in ancient times. There's no way. There's no way something that was built in the 1900s is your ancestral or whatever. Stop the BS. Because everybody knows that you can't just see a bike leaned up and just go jump on it and ride off. You can't just jump on a bike. You're walking down the street and then you see a bike just leaning up. And you're just going to get on it and just ride off. What are you, a crackhead? That's what crackheads do. That's what crackheads do. Now, we don't know. They could be lying in the article. And this is not even really what happened. We don't know. But we know that this is a campaign. Why? Because in a TikTok video, Little outlines her bizarre encounter with a group known as Moorish sovereign citizens. As soon as you hear Moorish sovereign citizens, know that it's a PsyOp. By now, you should know that anytime you hear Moorish sovereign citizens, well, according to SPLC and the FBI Bureau says that their investigations of the black terrorist groups and all, as soon as you start hearing that stuff, know that it's a PsyOp. And very soon, start looking for them to mention the word Moorish. As soon as they mention, oh, Moorish and sovereign citizen together, PsyOp. They're setting you up. Setting you up good too. We're setting you up good. Lil said she received legal notices before Memorial Day weekend, claiming her home was being claimed by someone with connections to the group. Now, I know for a fact, let's see what this says right here. All right, we already told you that these people are a fraud. Didn't we tell you that they're a fraud? Okay, let's see right. Al Moroccan Empire Consulate at New Jersey. Consular Court is written on this. And then there they go using the Great Seal, which is not their stuff for consular court. They can't use that. They can't use that. This is such a fraud. Just to have people look at the Moors like, oh, they're still houses. I'm not going to be a Moor because they're still houses. don't even know that this is a PsyOp. This is such a PsyOp that they have the guy upstairs drilling. You think they don't know what they're doing to try to stop you from getting this info? Yo, just like that, soon as we push the live, all up until the music played and nothing. Then soon start bringing up these traders and these sellouts that are trying to make you not look at your Moorish birthright. Have you look at everything else except your Moorish birthright. You can't make this up. Right, they're going and talking about claiming houses. Right? This is how far they're gonna go. And then, oh yeah, and don't forget, this guy right here, who they said claimed this house and whatever under some Moorish consulate, right? This same guy was on the Moorish convention calls. Think somebody wasn't trying to infiltrate? You think somebody wasn't trying to infiltrate? How you get so far as to being the guy who's in the news because Moorish sovereign citizen, whatever? How? It's supposed to be Honorable Moore, who've been all over the world and all this stuff. Or is it a PsyOp? That Moore probably didn't do anything. Moore's probably dropping off mail. And here they come fabricating stories to make Moors look crazy. But it's not about Moors looking crazy. It's about diverting your attention so you don't gravitate to your Moorish nationality and birthrights. It's called psychological warfare. That obviously our people are a novice in. They're an expert in all types of BS. But psychological warfare, or they're a novice. They're a rookie in psychological warfare. They're a rookie in psychological warfare, and they want to call into radio shows talking about they got something to say and they have a point. No, you don't. You don't have a damn point. You have a point. This is how far they're gonna go. So you don't know about your nationality and your birthrights. This is how far they're willing to go. At the precise moment of us going live, here come the driller guys. It's 3 p.m. here. Who drills at 3 p.m.? You do that stuff probably in the morning. Right? And after the drilling, then they come with the hammering. And like the mother said in the chat, they're driving home the truth to you. Don't get distracted by the noise. What they're actually doing is driving home the truth into your head. Let's see if you get it after this. Let's see if you get it after this. If you still don't get it after this, after all this driving home the truth into your head, then you might as well take off all this stuff and go back to being a nigger. Because that's what you always been. I don't care how much dashikis you're wearing. Just another nigger. Oh, the workshop of the mind going off right now. What do you expect? What do you expect? Of course. This is what it should be in everything that you hear. The truth getting drilled in. They know exactly what they're doing with their lives. They know what they're doing. The Moorish sovereign citizens political movement emerged in the mid-1990s on the East Coast based off of the teachings of the Moorish Science Temple, a religious sect dating back to 1913. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because how are they asking you, who are the indigenous Moors, but they're starting with the Moorish sovereign citizens political, what no, that's not what the question. That's not the question. Right? Moorish Science Temple is not from the 1990s. So how are you saying something from the 1990s is related to something that predates it? And we're going back again to let you know, for example, what's going on right now. Kwame Brown calling out all the traitors and the sellouts in the black community. Same stuff that the Moors doing. Nobody's telling him, oh, you're being condescending and all that stuff. None of that. They're cheering him on for calling the sellouts. Oh, the Moors, oh, you guys are done calling out sellouts? All right, well, we got some sellouts to call out for you guys. How about the sellouts that infiltrated everything Moorish and started playing sovereign citizen games and private trust whoever games and attaching all that BS to Moors to cause confusion? How about them? Oh no, because he has a Range Rover and he has a Rolls Royce and he has the doors that open like the wings and he has the European in the front seat and he can slap her ass and all that and he's the man. All right. Liars. Moorish sovereign citizens are not indigenous Moors. Indigenous Moors are not Moorish sovereign citizens because there's no such thing as Moorish sovereign citizens. It's a PsyOp. There's nothing called that. As soon as they say that, know that this is a PsyOp and they're about to play you. MST's founder, Noble Drew Ali, taught that black Moors were America's original inhabitants and were therefore entitled to self-governing status. Right? That's a lie. Noble Drew Ali didn't teach that black Moors anything. He taught that we're not Negro, black, or colored, or Ethiopian, and that we were Moors, and our nationality is that we're Moors. And because we're Moors, we have a self-governing status. Which is why they would ask the question in the beginning, who are the indigenous Moors? We're not talking about Moors across the Atlantic Ocean in Spain. Oh, here they go. Truth. Here comes the truth. Truth drilling time. They're not talking about some Spain Moors. They're conflating. They're conflating. He believed that all African Americans were descendants of the Moabites and therefore Moorish. So if the Moorish sovereign citizen political movement emerged in the 1990s on the East Coast based off the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, a Moorish Science Temple, a religious sect from the 1913, then how come you didn't say he believed that all the African Americans were descendants of the Moabites and therefore Moorish sovereign citizens? Oh, because sovereign citizens didn't exist during the time of Noble Drew Ali telling all these African Americans that they're Moorish. So who you riding with? The prophet? Or you riding with some traders? Or you gonna ride with some traders? Or because they got badges now they're legitimate Moors? They're the Moors who are gonna take us out of the dark ages of Europe that we're under right now because they have the sheriff badge? Oh, those are the Moors. The Moors who we don't know where they've been for the past 5 years, all of a sudden they pop up and they're now the biblical save the Moors. When these Moors been exercising their nationality and birthrights with laminated nationality cards for the past 20 years. Don't even have a nationality card exercising their rights. And then you're not paying attention to them. You're paying attention to these clowns out here going and claiming mansions. And because they get off, that means that they did something. What the hell does that mean? They have a mansion for themselves to live in? 8 rooms, just you living in there? What happened to all this free the people and help the mothers and all this? You know, claim some mansion and just you live there. Let's say you can get away with it. Claim any property out here. All you gotta do is write observer, stick it on the door, wait 30 days. If nobody rebuts it or calls you or whatever, then you kick the door in, change the lock, change the door or whatever, and that's yours. Where you gonna go claim out here? And then here go all the Moors kicking in mansion doors. And then all these schools or whatever that are empty and abandoned, they're not getting that. And then all these businesses that are abandoned, they're not getting those. And then all these other stuff that's abandoned, factories and whatever that they're abandoned, that they could tear that down and build something new. They don't want to do that. They want to go claim a mansion for them to go live in with 8 rooms. Moors we're talking about. Right? Would that be possible, a mansion, and bring the entire nation? Well, obviously the nation can't fit in a mansion. So why are you claiming mansions? And then if you're heir to a vast estate and estate is land, why are you claiming buildings? Why don't you just claim the land and then that way you have everything on it? How is this rocket science? Why would you claim the building and talk about ancestral home? What is ancestral home? What is that? People are taking this Moorish nationality and playing games with you. And while they're playing games with you, they're messing it up for the good Moors who've been putting in work, sacrificing their life and all that stuff, still getting sacrificed right now. Somebody got a call right before this, somebody got kidnapped right now, just because they said they're a Moor. They didn't want to give a license. Like, what's the problem? I don't want to give you a license. Like, why should I have to give you a license? That should be it. There should be no conversation. Oh, you're Moor? Oh, sorry about that. We thought you were Negro black colored. No, I'm not Negro black colored. I'm not a slave. I'm a Moor. I'm a free man. Oh, all right, no problem. So, sorry, breaker. That was a false call. That was just a Moor. You know, just for anybody else on the radio, if you listen, you see this Moor plate number or whatever like that, don't stop him because he's a Moor. We don't have any jurisdiction over him. That's how it's supposed to be. Not them exercising some authority that they think that they got because they got a badge and a gun and a car and whatever. Right? And you're not a Moor to be a dumbass and kicking in doors of people's property talking about this is on my ancestral estate, so I'm claiming it. Somebody lives there, dummy. If somebody could do that to you, what do you think I could come do? Just because you did that. Oh. What did the police do? They came, kicked the door, and got your ass out of there, didn't they? Why? Because It's called, when you're in the court, they play games there where you go from one side to the other side, back and forth, until somebody wins. It's court. So you're the smart guy. You're not even claiming land, you're going to go claim property. And not only are you not claiming something that's abandoned, you're claiming something that somebody's in there. Or they have a sign out front. Oh, I don't care about that sign. I'm just going to take the sign down because this is my land. Well, if it's your land, why don't you go claim Sears Tower? Stop the dumb stuff. You complain this little thing if it's your land and you got it like that, you could claim stuff. Then why don't you go claim all these Walmarts out here? Are they the biggest $1 billion whatever? Claim all these Amazons out here then. Stop doing dumb stuff. And then putting Moors on it as if that's what it is to be Moors. And messing stuff up. We're not talking about Moors who they went out there, did whatever they did, and didn't get arrested and got the property. We're not talking about those Moors. We're not talking about the Moors who said, no, I'm not using your plate. I'm going to put my own plate on. And they've been exercising for the past 10, 15 years on Moorish tags, no issues. We're not talking about those Moors. We're talking to the Moors who want to be somebody so bad that they go do some BS and then get themselves in a mess and then want to come call Moors, but they didn't put Moors on to what they were up to. How come you didn't tell anybody that you were claiming mansions? Oh, so you went claim mansions, now you got kidnapped, now you got to do some BS, suck their whatever and kiss their whatever to get out. And then you're going to come talk about you're doing classes for Moors to be free. You just got kidnapped. What the hell are you talking about you doing classes for something? Who's listening to you? You just got kidnapped. And it's not even like you got out on your own recognizance or whatever like that. You had to pay bond and you had to suck somebody and give them this and that before they let you out. Obviously you're an agent. Obviously you're sent. Obviously you're not organic. You're GMO. You're GMO Moors. Now these GMO Moors exercising things, and then people are looking at that as, oh wow, that's what the Moors shouldn't be claiming houses because that's wrong. The Moors, why are the Moors doing that? Those are Moors. Those are traitors. Those are traitors. If indigenous American nations, Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creek, Seminole nations are Moors, why do they have their own constitutions and national seals? Exactly, because they're Moors. Why wouldn't they have their own stuff? If they're the Aboriginal indigenous people, why would they have the foreigner stuff? And even on that corporate level, the Negroes still don't get it. They're still going around begging for notaries to sign their papers. Nuwapians have a national seal. They don't want to be Nuwapian Moors. They want to be Tamarans. So they can't use the Constitution and they can't use the national seal. Because that's for Moors who are Nuwapian. And that's the only thing Nuwapians are, Moors. Go check their Constitution. So if some Nuwapians are going to come on and talk about Tamaray and all this, and they're the Tamarans of whatever, and you're riding with that instead of the Constitution that the founder of that wrote, saying that you're Moors, who you riding with? The founder of the thing, or you riding with these traitors who sold all his books, who sold all of his books, sold originals, all that type of stuff, sold it out, straight sold it out. Took the Nuwapian Nation of Moors newspaper and called it Tamaray Times. And then they're going to come around you with a black fez with an ankh on it. But then when Doc went to court, he had the red fez like the Moors. No markings. None of that secret order of the green light and planet risk and all of that. None of that stuff when he went to court. He went to court for red fez up. Because he already knew that the charges were trumped up. He already knew that it was a PsyOp. So what did his prophet tell him? That even in, and don't forget, Nuwapians are Yamasee, which is Aboriginal Indigenous. Don't forget that. And Geechee and all that stuff. Don't forget all that. Right? Don't forget all the Indian tribe, Chickasaw, Choctaw, and don't forget all that's Washita. The 5 civilized tribes are the Els, Bays, Days, Als, and Alis. Don't forget. When Malachi York L was building all these pyramids, Europeans were giving up land. Europeans were meeting with him personally. But what the issue is, everybody wants to be the man. Nobody wants to give honors to Noble Drew Ali. Why you think the holy tablets had the Holy Quran in it? Why the holy tablets have Deuce Muhammad Ali in it? Why the holy tablets have Noble Drew Ali in it? Why Dr. York put out his own Circle 7 Quran? Because he realized late that he messed up when he started playing his Imam Isa BS, trying to be the prophet. Right after he started the R&B singing. He's Imam of something. You're an R&B singer. You wear lipstick and stuff like that. Stop the BS. Noble Drew Ali deserves all the honors. No one else. If they're not bringing him up, they're a traitor and they're a sellout. And if they're trying to pull you under some sovereign citizen stuff, they're a traitor and a sellout. They're trying to make you think that Moors claim houses and Moors just take off plates and drive around with no licenses, and that's what it is to be a Moor. You probably learned from a sellout. They can't bring up the fact that some Indians had Ellen Bay, because that'll give up the game that there's no Indians. If they're Els and Bays, they're obviously not Indians. If they're Els and Bays, they're obviously Moors. If they're Els and Bays, some Islamic historians believe that the Moors and Muslim groups reached the Americas before Christopher Columbus. Moorish sovereigns believe this entitles them to claim immunity from federal, state, and local laws, and can sometimes cite God's law or common law over constitutional authority. Now that's a lie. Because they're saying that as if the people who are the government today are constitutional authority. They're not the constitutional authority either. When they say Moorish sovereigns believe this entitles them to claim immunity from federal, state, and local laws, they're implying that the Moorish belief is that federal, state, and local laws they don't have to deal with because those laws are constitutional authority. No, those laws are federal, state, and local laws. They have nothing to do with constitutional anything. They have nothing to do with the Aboriginal indigenous people who've been here before them. And if that's the case, then that's diversity. And you don't have jurisdiction if we're diverse. And it's supposed to, oh, no problem. But what did they do? They had a Asiatic with a European name, which would mean she's their property, so she's not talking for herself. That's not her house, it's theirs. And their quote-unquote housekeeper, sharecropper, their housekeeper saw something and she called the landlord. And this is how they're going ahead with it, because he can't do that because he's not a Moor. His name is Johnson Jeffries, and we have files from him before trying to do all this BS, and we already know that he's not the real Moors. So don't worry, we'll handle this. You just go back to your housekeeping, pretending that's your life. And then she thinks she stopped something when she's their property. And she's up the river too. She just doesn't even realize it yet, because she's working with them, not realizing that there's no working with. You're under servitude. And you're under servitude because in your mind they have you thinking that the brother is wrong. So that means everything about that's wrong. That's not, no. He was in error. That has nothing to do with whatever nation he belongs to. No, absolutely nothing to do with the nation he belongs to. If he's doing acts of criminality, that falls on the individual doing the criminality, not the whole nation. So the 5 civilized tribes are Moors, El Bay, Ali, etc. Even though in their history they didn't refer to themselves as Moors, even though in their history they didn't refer to themselves as Moors, I guarantee you without a shadow of a doubt that all of those people who didn't identify themselves as Moors, or didn't refer to themselves as Moors, or didn't call themselves Moors, I bet you all of them were dark-skinned people. And if they were dark-skinned people, and Moor means any dark-skinned person, then whether they call themselves Moors or not, they're Moors. Isn't that simple? Is that rocket science? Is that we need Bobby Hemmett and we need Phil Valentine to come do a 2-hour lecture? No, we don't need them. This stuff is basic. The problem is psychological warfare. And psychological warfare being pushed by our own, on our own. Which is why we can't get anything done, because it's always our own. And you're talking about, hey, my brother, then you turn your back, get stabbed in your back, and then you're complaining about the white man did something. Where was the white man when your brother stabbed you in the back and started calling you Negro, black, colored, and not telling you that you're Moors? Where was the white man at? Where is he at? And it's not like they stab you and then pull it out and pretend like they didn't do it. They stab you and leave it in. You know you can't reach that part on your back. You're on the wide back. You've been on the bars. Can't touch your back to pull that out. It was your own that did it. Right? Federal, state, and all that stuff, that's not the jurisdiction. They come into conflict with federal and state authorities over their refusal to obey laws and government regulations. And that's particular Moors, because majority of Moors, they obey the laws. Majority of Moors, they don't violate law. Why wouldn't Moors violate law? Because Noble Drew Ali taught that this is divine and national. And if you think that you're going to violate the law and it's not going to come back to you because you're a Moor and you know the law and all stuff, yeah. Remember when you stubbed your toe that day and it hurt so bad? Yeah, that was for your stuff that you tried. That was for the stuff that you tried. But you shouldn't be trying stuff. Stick to the program so we can change the conditions out here. But nah, people don't want to stick to the program, right? A Moor went through the ringer already, came out the other side, did a possession, claimed the property, have no issues with these people. You come up now, you hear something about something, and there's this way to do this, and it's common knowledge that this is how it could be done because it's precedent, and you don't want to do that. You're going to go over here and do your own thing, and then get kidnapped and have the Moors looking like a bunch of dumbasses, when it's really not on the Moors if this one individual couldn't figure their stuff out. It's on that individual. Right? They have been playing you. From the white man to your own brother, they've been playing you. Just go watch some lectures on with Steve Coakley and the Boule, and him calling out all these traders, all your favorite whoever's, that all of them were traders. And it got to the point where he's doing lectures and Moors are escorting him to the stage. Moors are playing Mufti at his lectures because he couldn't trust anyone, because everyone was a traitor when he stopped and looked around. The amount of times he almost got assassinated by his own, just because he's telling some truth about how come our people's conditions suck because of our own. Now, you keep thinking that you need something, when Noble Drew Ali brought you everything it takes to save a nation and told you take it and save yourself. Well, what's everything that he brought? Your nationality and your birthrights. That's only two things. Obviously, you haven't studied nationality or birthrights. Because if you're telling me nationality and birthrights are only two things, you're completely out to lunch. It's almost dinner time. Lunchtime is three hours ago. You're late. And you're pulling out lunch bag at 3 o'clock. Where lunch bag you in? Where you going with lunch bag? Well, these people play you. There's the countdown. Perfect timing. Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love. Watch out for the PsyOps to make you give up your nationality and abandon your birthrights. Honors to all the mothers worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and all Moors all over the world, all over the planet, all throughout the universe. Islam.